On the Fringe with Dan RadioStyle. Hope everybody out there's having themselves a great day. Want to wish you a Merry Christmas, or certainly a Merry Christmas Eve at the actual moment I'm filming. I might do a video tomorrow. We'll see. I've got some time to kill, that's for sure. So we'll see. Might do something small and fun. We'll possibly work that in. But that said, I want to wish you and all of you guys a very, very Merry Christmas. So much to be thankful for, so much to certainly be working towards, and unfortunately, there's some people close to the channel that are having a tough time right now. And there's, it's weird. This is a time of year where a lot of people tend to pass away too, and again, it's very sad time. So heart goes out to all the people out there that are struggling through these holidays. We got a lot to talk about. Certainly the thumbnail about when's it okay to tap out. And I think that's a big question with Ukraine. We've, of course, got a lot to talk about with Trump, a couple SCOTUS Supreme Court stuff that happened. We've got a little more going on with Venezuela and some general movements around the world. Hopefully a shorter show. We'll see how this plays out. Which countries export the most Christmas decorations? I think anybody with half a good brain would come to the conclusion, but it is funny that a country that absolutely is not Christian in any way, shape, or form, and, well, Christmas, that has become commercial and is absolutely not Christian anymore either, by the way. I don't know. Maybe, I forget. Were one of the three wise men a dude dressed in a white furry suit with a beard? I don't think so. I don't think so. And I know they've tried to tie it to St. Nick, but no, I believe it was Coca-Cola that really got the Santa Claus thing going back in the day, if I remember correctly. I might be wrong on that, but there's some company that commercialized it and turned that into the thing, and it just caught on. That's how programming works. It started a long time ago. Needless to say, China, 5.9 billion. Netherlands, 249 million is the next step down. 5.9 billion. The graph says it all, really. But daggum, as Burchett would say. Now, this is just the hell. Sexting has now apparently been banned in China. There's stiffening penalties, odd choice of word, for sharing obscene material. Love the image they got in there, frankly. Just sad. Ruining everything. I don't even know if Alice Tang will ever text me back now. Apparently, once you send your junk, you're kind of all in, right? Yeah, Donald Trump, truth this out. Who's the worst late night host? CBS, ABC, or NBC? I think it's Stephen Colbert. We'll chat. I'm curious what you all think. You can throw it in comments if you want. We got, what's his face? Kimmel, and then, what's Fallon, right? Jimmy Fallon. So we don't know which one's worse. What's sad is Colbert I used to love hugely, especially when he was on the Comedy Central's thing with my boy. That was he was good then. I liked it. TDS, the Daily Show, back when he was on that. Not when he was hosting it. I think he started to suck at that point. But when he was the helper, he was good then. But I think he's the worst now. That's my guess. I don't know. Fallon. Kimmel sucks. He's horrible. I mean, I'm happy to go either way with Colbert or Kimmel. Those both suck super bad. I think Fallon's, to me, arguably better than the other two. Still with large levels of suckage attached to him. An anchor of suckage, one could say. Yeah? A giant suckage attached to you. It's sort of how suckage works. Right? It's like a leech attached to itself. U.S. sanctions pro-censorship figures in the UK, EU for suppressing American free speech. 5 very significant people just got their essentially their green cards or whatever they are, their passports revoked as far as our country is concerned. Under Secretary of State Sarah B. Rogers announced on Tuesday that the United States has issued sanctions targeting the censorship NGO ecosystem. These sanctions are specifically visa-related, aimed at British and European Union former officials and NGO leaders who have been involved in extraterritorial censorship of the American free speech. Those named as having been sanctioned are former European Commissioner Thierry Breton, Imran Ahmed of the Center for Countering Digital Hate, Claire Melford of the UK-based Global Disinformation Index, and Anne-Lena von Hodenberg, and Josephine Ballin of Germany's hate aid organization. No, not Kool-Aid guy. Hate aid. Kool-Aid's cool. We like that. Or Fat Albert, because that's basically what I just sounded like. But similar. I feel like the picture sounded something like that. Anyway, whatever the case is. Khan, Shaka Khan, or the Khan from Star Trek, which many of you would appreciate. He, in particular, has close ties to British Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer, a.k.a. Finger in the Butt guy. Yeah, my eyes are so up. Dude's out of control. How do you not get, over? They're going to constantly have to pull your scalp back from the insane wrinkles from your sheer eyebrow velocity. That's disgusting. Okay, so some SCOTUS stuff. SCOTUS rules against Trump sending National Guard to sanctuary Chicago. Long story short, there was 6-3. We had Alito is the one that wrote the dissent, and it was Alito, Clarence Thomas, and who's the other one? Gorsuch. And so, again, the two new ones that Trump put in, they voted, two of the new ones anyway that Trump put in voted with the dissenters. Now, their reasoning is not horribly far off and fair. And I actually think this is sort of a trick in that, not to the Supreme Court, I think this was all part of the plan, that Trump gets some fails, right? So then the media is going to run with these fails, but it's good. Supreme Court spoken. In this case, the way it's provided, we don't agree that you should be able to use the National Guard to, quote, protect ICE agents. Again, I'm not agreeing or disagreeing. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm just sharing the information, right? Now, the dissent was, whatever one may think about the current administration's enforcement of the immigration laws or the way ICE has conducted its operations, the protection of federal officers from potentially lethal attacks should not be thwarted, Alito wrote in his dissenting opinion. I therefore respectfully dissent. He's basically saying, look, you guys are saying it's okay that they can't protect their own troops. And again, I find that to be pretty horrendous. So it's telling. It's also interesting to see who voted on what side of this. It happens. 6-3, 6-3. That's a common thing. We've seen it go both directions, right? Now, the suspicion, and this was, I thought, pretty good work by Bioclandestine. Well done. But he goes, holy shiz, I think it's actually happening. I am reading through the Supreme Court ruling on Trump v. Illinois, and they ruled that Trump needs to invoke the Insurrection Act in order to send troops into Chicago. Now, the Insurrection Act is something we've talked a lot about. Now, can he invoke it in specific places? I would assume so. I don't think it has to be nationwide per se. Kavanaugh, in his dissent, even says that this ruling could cause the president to use the U.S. military more than the National Guard. The Supreme Court just admitted that Trump has the authority to invoke the Insurrection Act to bypass posse comitatus and send the troops to Chicago and any other city he wants. Trump tried to exhaust every legal avenue possible before resorting to the Insurrection Act, but the Dems resisted and refused to cooperate. Sounds to me like Trump just got the green light to invoke the Insurrection Act. This is going to get interesting. I thought a lot about this today, and one of I was catching myself with beliefs I have. Let's put it that way. And I'm like, well, because we're having our 250th anniversary this coming June, July, and a whole bunch of stuff, frankly, but July, obviously. I had this presumption that all this needs to be taken care of by then, that that's what Trump's going to try to do, that that's how it should be. But that's just because I feel like there's so much significance around that date. But wouldn't it almost be fitting that we'd be fighting through something even at that time? So I realized that was just me wanting to believe stuff and then trying to shape the information I perceive through that filter, that lens. And by taking that lens off, it's allowed me to realize that we're moving into this at whatever time and pace and speed that it is, that the deep state's desperately trying to delay everything as much as possible, trying to outrun Trump, if you will, which I don't think is possible. But things are playing out the way they're supposed to. Now, this is a pretty jacked up story here. 3 young boys in Ohio, ages 8, 11, and 12, led police on a high-speed chase in a stolen car before crashing it into a home and then ran on foot. Yeah, 8, 11, and 12 are already doing this kind of crime. I don't even know what race they are or anything. It doesn't even matter. It's just insanity. Check it out.
On the ground! On the ground! On the ground right now!
Sorry.
I have 2 in the backyard right now.
His name is Clarkson Del Paz. Screaming.
On the stomach now! On your stomach now!
Please.
Do not look at me! Where's the 3rd one?
He over there.
Stand by. Got 2 pruned out there complying. I'm getting you an address. Stand by. Do not look at me. Get on the ground. Do not look at me.
My mama.
Do not look at me. Stay on the ground. You're in there? Get over here now. Get over here now. No, just get on the ground. Stand by. I got all 3 now. Stand by.
Please don't hurt us.
Oh, I'm going to shoot you all right now. That's what we're going to do. You ever seen the Terminator? You're about to be terminated. Freaking 8, 11, and 12-year-olds. Obviously, it was a big, stupid mistake, but still. 8, 11, and 12. I never, ever hopped into my mind, oh, steal the car. Granted, I hadn't played Grand Theft Auto. There were some decent video games for driving, but not the real cool ones yet. It was still kind of early. Damn, man, that's craziness. What is this? Judge rejects challenge. This is kind of funny. Judge rejects challenge to Trump's $100,000 H-1B visa fee that he's charging. A couple different groups were suing him. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce and the Association of American Universities. They all alleged that the move was unlawful. Apparently, this judge just dropped it. It can be appealed, so whatever. It'll be appealed. Maybe there'll be some appellate court that'll be like, well, we'll hear this. Whatever. We'll see. Again, the joy is beginning. Donald Trump truthed out, thank you, Joshua, total crooks, and he's referring to Joshua Hall's work. Breaking news, and this is a big deal. This is on top of what we've already understood with Georgia's elections. I think it was 300-ish thousand votes that they counted that were unaccounted for. Just showed up. No, they were done early. They didn't have a chain of custody. All that stuff was broken. Already starting off the election on the right foot. Well, here's worse news. The Georgia Board of Elections just dropped this bombshell, revealing that hundreds of thousands of ballots in Georgia in the 2020 presidential election were counted twice. And it was not by human error, but by intentional human intervention, which was in fact massive voter fraud that stole the election from the actual winner of the Georgia, President Donald J. Trump. Rudy Giuliani, Sidney Powell, President Trump, and countless others were criminally charged, civilly sued, and in some cases bankrupted for no other crime than having the courage to come forward and expose this massive fraud to the American people. They have now been completely and totally vindicated. The head of the Georgia Board of Elections now says Georgia owes President Donald J. Trump an apology. It's official, guys, and the evidence is all out after 5 long, painful years. The 2020 election was stolen from all of us, and President Trump was the lawful winner of the state of Georgia. Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, Governor Brian Kemp, and other top Georgia election officials were paid off to look the other way and knowingly certified this fraudulent election. So when do the arrests start? Ruby Freeman should have to pay Rudy back reparations and every single penny that she got off him based on a big lie and false pretense. And her, Raffensperger, Kemp, and every single one of their fellow election riggers must be arrested and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. This was the political crime of the century, and they should never be allowed to show their face in public again without being shouted down by we the people for stealing our vote and our president from us. Resign now, you rhino traitors. When President Trump was talking about the enemy from within, he was talking about people like them. It's harder to read when it's way down here. Whatever. And it's long. A lot of words, man. C3 posted this out. C3PO? Was that what it is? C3PO, yeah. I was like, what's the rest of the letters that's supposed to go with it? With all the fraud being caught in Waltz's Minnesota, the only Democrat to vote to repeal health care for illegals is Minnesota. Melissa Hortman. She was the deciding vote. She is a Democrat. You guys know how I celebrate Democrats that cross the line. I celebrate them. Democrats that cross the line, you will likely, if your actions, I should say, not with your stupid words, your actions, yes, I will celebrate you because you deserve it. I don't know why you keep the D next to your name. That seems silly to me. You should go independent. But you must do as you must do. It's not my choice to make. But here is her short thing.
I know that people will be hurt by that vote. And we worked very hard to try to get a budget deal that wouldn't include that provision.
And oh my God, I'm about to start crying because I'm so emotional right now. And I can't believe I did this. Whatever. Good for you. I don't know about all the emotion. I have a hard time with crying. Crying's a tough thing for me. Don't like it. Not comfortable. I cry at movies. It's weird. I got sensitivities. But yeah, there's just people that just use crying. It's like, I don't know. I don't like emotional misuse, Like, use it appropriately. If you're using emotion just to try to manipulate, like this, kind of. Call it a segue. So the U.S. Justice Department has come out now, and they are saying, which I was saying yesterday, I thought this was ridiculous, that this letter from Jeffrey Epstein to this, the gymnast, the pedophile guy, gymnast trainer, U.S. Olympic team gym guy, Jimmy Jimerton, they basically said this is not true. It's the handwriting doesn't match and all this stuff. So yeah, again, I was doubtful. I thought it was pretty stupid, but they've officially come out and said this is a fake letter. I don't need to read all this stuff. Writing doesn't appear to match. I guess I do. Letter was postmarked 3 days after Epstein's death. It was mailed after he died. The return address did not list the jail where Epstein was held. Anyway, people won't believe it, won't matter anyways. Democrats push for Epstein file, sort of boomeranged on him a little bit, it seems, because Clinton's now kind of in the spotlight, so we'll see how that plays out for him. One thing that will play out better for you, I'm going to tell you this much right now, is the concept of feeling great. I love this company. They call it Feel Great. It's this Unimate balance mixture. A lot of us have this big problem right here. It's insulin resistance. And it's just from the foods we've eaten, the way we spike our carbs at weird times, the candies. I think actually a part of it, too, by the way, and I don't know, I'm not an expert, but I have studied nutrition to a degree. Like, I'm not like a dietitian or anything crazy, but I was a nutrition tech. What was I, food tech? What was I? Food nutrition tech? I forget what my title was. I think it was food nutrition tech. Anyway, whatever. I could help patients fill out their menus so long as they weren't like diabetic or anything crazy. That's sad. I think we have a lot of weird things. There's all these 0-calorie foods, right? And it's impossible. There's no way to have a 0-calorie food, or that essentially means you just ate styrofoam. Essentially. So we put all these weird chemicals and stuff together that taste delicious, but in the body's like, I have no idea what to do with this. So in some ways, it does create a bit of an imbalance. But the other problem is we eat so much sugar, so many carbohydrates, so much bad food, so many processed foods, that we're constantly hitting our bodies hard with this insulin. And what your body starts to do is give up. It's like you're always doing this to me. Insulin's supposed to be a sparing, occasional, maybe it runs out even. I don't even know if that's part of where the resistance comes in. But when you're not getting the appropriate amount of insulin, and it starts to pull back, or it runs out, or whatever the case is, I don't think you're like a squid where you've got endless insulin in your body. You got to recreate it daily, get your wells filled up. But if you're not doing that, well, then you can't properly process carbohydrates. Then they start to actually become instantly fat to the most part. And 2, you spike your blood sugars. So we've got all these people that are diabetic, pre-diabetic, post-diabetic, and forms of diabetic all the way down the road. And yet still maybe haven't fixed your habits. OTFspecial.com. OTFspecial.com. Unimate. It's a packet. There's 2 packets of this a day and 1 balance. It's delicious. This one's lemon. You can't really see it, unfortunately, because of the light. It's lemon flavored. The Unimate, the yerba mate, I should say, the like cactus or whatever it is, and they mash it up and put it in there in fine powder. It's awesome. It tastes like a tea, I think, because with the lemon, it just tastes like lemon tea to me. It's delicious. I find it to be delicious. I put it in the little, I even got one of the bottles, I'll be honest. And I got their little mixer thing. That thing's crazy. It's a frother, really. If you steam milk and put that in, you'll actually make latte. Like, it's pretty good. You'll make it like a cappuccino froth. It's an incredible little mixer. But it's battery powered, and it just freaking mixes everything perfectly. And then just guzzle it. And some people take it with them, and I don't roll like that. I guzzle it, and then get it going. And then I've got the other one that's the bone support. Right here. Bone complex. This is another one. You got to go and actually buy it from the main page, but that's another one. Then I'll just do that packet next, and bada bing, bada boom. All I'm saying is this product is amazing. It's delicious, and it helps you fast longer. It helps your body process carbohydrates better and get your insulin control back, and stop being reliant on pharma to help you through this. Stay on your pills. You're not going to stop doing anything until your doctor tells you to, but your numbers are going to change. You're going to see it. I've got already people that are telling me about how their numbers are changing, people that even have the monitors. Okay, their blood sugars are where they're supposed to be. They got an A1C test coming up, and that's supposed to drop, and we know it will. That's coming up here a couple weeks, 3 weeks, who knows? Close. I'll find out when I hear. This product is changing people's lives. 94% of us are insulin resistant to some way, shape, or form. You're not diabetic yet. Maybe you don't need a lot of sugar, kind of like me, but your body's not necessarily processing things the way you think it is. This helps, and it's a great way to go about it. OTFspecial.com. Check out this video, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
If you're constantly battling low energy, cravings, weight control, watching your health slip away, listen up. There's a simple daily protocol they don't want you to know about that's helping people ditch their meds and reclaim their health. Up to 88% of Americans potentially suffer from some degree of insulin resistance. The Feel Great protocol is a simple 2-step daily system designed to help your body work with you, not against you. Step 1. Unimate, a powerful yerba mate extract clinically shown to boost mood, increase mental clarity, and support fat burning. Step 2. A patented fiber matrix called Balance. Taken before meals, it helps regulate blood sugar, curb cravings, and support healthy insulin response. That's it. No crazy diets, no meds, just science-backed support your body actually understands. Feel Great is perfect for you if you have low energy, weight control, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, poor sleep, diabetes, snacking, sugar cravings, gut health, systemic inflammation. This isn't a trend, it's a transformation. Start today to reclaim your health with the Feel Great protocol.
There's a lot of people I see in this particular video, by the way, that are drinking a clear liquid. Let's not misstate. I have yet to see any of these packets stay clear. There might be a clear one. I'm not aware of it. But don't expect it to look like water. It's not. It looks like tea. It's awesome, though. Again, I'm just saying this. I think they did what they did for many reasons, all said. It's an amazing product, and that is what I think is key in the big picture. Snacking, overeating, weight loss, fatty liver, even erectile dysfunction. All these things, depression, fatigue, gut health, tied to insulin resistance. It's powerful. OTFspecial.com, OTFspecial.com. Actually, a great video here that's worth the watch. But yeah, a couple data points, and you are shopping, my friends. And make sure you let them know that OTF sent you. OTFspecial.com/OTF. Whoops. OTFspecial.com. Then just leave it at that. Simple. I like that. Simple and sweet. All right, so what's going on here in Venezuela? We've got a very, very interesting thing. It's spinning up. More activities are happening. We're also understanding that some of these taking over these craft, these ships, these tankers. Well, very specialized group of soldiers do this typically. And they're making it sound like they're either A, busy doing this all over the place, maybe they're far away, or whatever. But I think some of them are on the ship that's currently like docking, probably yesterday or today. Maybe trying to get these guys back to the battlefield so they can get on this boat or ship. I'm not exactly sure what's keeping them. Maybe the Coast Guard's keeping them kind of where they are, but they're like, we are sending someone to board your ship, but it's got to be the right people that are trained, that know how to shoot people really well. I don't know, whatever. It's SEAL Team 6 kind of stuff or whatever. But they're sending more troops out there. There was a bunch of crap that took off, and then they disappeared from Flight Tracker, which is usually a good indication. Not exactly sure what troops they were. There's a couple bases that they came from, but there's a whole slew of different kinds of specialties they had over there that could very easily have come into play. And again, it looks very much like we're going into Venezuela and taking over ships, taking over different situations. Now, one of the things that Trump said that I found to be interesting is they've been accused of stealing U.S. energy assets and infrastructure. Voting would fall under infrastructure. And their voting systems, the data, the efforts to steal an election, which is our infrastructure within our country, I think all comes into play. This is huge. This is about getting information for sure. I think this is largely about elections across the world. Taking that control away from this criminal cartel. And I don't think there's any way they can really offload it quick enough to some other location without Space Force essentially seeing it. It's just too much information, too much data. I don't think they can do it. I think Trump's got a major checkmate happening here. And he's maybe check, but he's just cornering the peace. You're not going to be able to move more than a couple more times, and you're done. Game over. And that is coming. So troops are being moved in place. There is escalation of some kind happening, though I'm curious if it's going to be... I feel like it's never what we think it is. I don't know. We'll see. Supposedly these Epstein files, I say supposedly because I don't know. This is being played up to make Bondi and everybody look inept, and maybe that's possible. I doubt it, though. This has kind of been known, like someone even points out in here, since the 90s. This is nothing new. Anybody that's even sort of okay with some of these programs would know this. And I'm assuming this has to do with layers and how layers work and locking them and password locking them and just numbers of things like that. Apparently, a lot of the redactions were done in such a way as to where they, maybe even all, I don't know, we just know in a few cases, you're able to move the redaction layer. And by doing that, you free up the words that have been redacted. Now, this could be horrible, I guess, or catastrophic for the deep state. And I mean, this particular Reddit thing is talking about, let's keep this on the down low. Nobody's really talking about this too much. I mean, it's, I guess, bad I am. I'm not telling you necessarily how to do it, but it's not that big a deal. You can slide it. Now, I don't know if it works on all of them. I'm curious if it works on specific ones or what. Maybe a certain individual within their group didn't understand this, and everybody else did. So there might be a few of these is my guess. But my question is which documents? I don't think this was an accident. And I'll be curious to see. I mean, how many victims end up being unredacted versus famous names, per se, right? We'll see. Crazy stuff going on. What was this story? TikTok. This is a TikTok user discovering how this happens. I'm not going to necessarily show it. You can look it up. It's not hard to do. University fires trans instructor for failing student over biblical gender views. Pretty ballsy move, by the way, on this chick, and I apologize for saying ballsy. It's funny, she kind of looks like my sister. But she is, this was her transgender teacher. It was a male that had they, her pronouns or something, whatever, something to that effect. She worked in Oklahoma. Oklahoma's a trippy place. Trippy place, guys. You just never know what's going to happen in Oklahoma. But needless to say, this this essay that was written by this 20-year-old junior, Samantha Fulnecki, she rejected gender ideology from a Christian perspective. University officials cited arbitrary grading practices in the decision to remove Kurth. So this teacher failed this term paper, which was probably a final paper, probably worth a lot of points, and because of that, she didn't pass the class. The teacher ended up getting fired because of it, no longer teaching, let's say. That's actually what it is. They're still helping out in the background doing, I don't know what they do. Perming his hair more? Anyway, I have no idea. I don't know. That's so, who's it reminds me of somebody I knew. I don't know. I can't. It's so weird. Anyway, it's like that face looks familiar. It's frightening. From nightmares from a past. DOJ reverses Biden era rule. Halts veteran affairs, abortion funding. Again, we're making progress. No longer is, I guess, the Department of Veterans Affairs going to be providing abortions with taxpayer-funded money. And that's good. I think it should be. That's something that's very like a lot of people in this country believe abortion's not okay, and to make taxpayer money go towards it forces people to pay for something that they're morally against, and that creates a dilemma. So there's other ways to handle that. You want to get people that just donate in some other way. My favorite was when you bump into people. I got a friend like this. It was pretty high up the food chain at some tech company you've heard of. And he just talks about the privilege of paying taxes. And I laugh. It's like, all right, whatever. It's your privilege. If you made a bunch of money, then you should have to pay a bunch of taxes. And it's just like, wow. It's not really a privilege at all. You got nothing to show for it, man. It sucks. Judge rules California schools cannot conceal students' gender transitions from parents. Woo! Sweet. Not that I have kids. Not that this affects me in any way, but it's like, thank God. It's just like another illegal law that's been passed by Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom's been stopped on a bunch of laws. A whole bunch of gun laws have been shot down that we've been done. Though, I don't know what we're waiting on with the high-capacity ban. Any of you guys with my email address out there, if you know something on that, I'm curious, man, because I was asking my friend that used to own a gun shop, and he's, I don't know. I'm like, what? Didn't they say that's not legal? Like, when can I buy a bigger mag for my freaking 320 that you're not even supposed to use anymore? Anyways. At least when it drops, I want it to fire a bunch of times, not just once. Or 10 times. Whatever. So, good. Damn you, California! I feel you guys, I swear to God. Like I've said, pry bars. Right now you don't want to do it. It's really muddy. It's raining a lot right now. It's crazy. Yeah, we don't know what to do when it rains. I know. That's like snow in most places. Well, unless you're actually used to snow. It's like snow in places that aren't used to snow. It just shuts down the city and you had a dusting, right? That's here. It rains. People are like, I don't know what to do. Can't go outside. I don't know what to do. It's how you create Pritzkers. See? Too much cold weather, stuck inside, eating, and you become Pritzker. Big fatty. Big fat fatty, actually. A fatacious fatty. A fatacious fat fatty. Dipped in butter, rolled in flour, and fried. DOJ sues Dem over... How much do you think he would render, by the way? Do you think you could... Anyway, that's... Okay. DOJ sues Dem governor over illegal immigrant prosecutions on public properties. They're suing. It's like, this is stupid. This is ridiculous. So you're saying we can't arrest people in courthouses, hospitals, daycare centers, and other public institutions. We can't arrest them anywhere unless they're... Where? Like in a manhole? Nope, that's public land too. Whatever. They're fighting it. It's kind of stupid that they have to, but it's all being set up. Again, this is a show. This is such a show. Supreme Court rejects Trump's bid to deploy National Guard in Chicago again without the posse, or without the calling martial law, essentially, right? The, what the heck, Insurrection Act. A Tennessee judge postpones Abrego Garcia trial amid claims of vindictive prosecutions, actually talking about maybe dropping it. Of course. It's so stupid. The judge that we want to remember their name forever until they get fired, and then we can forget about them. U.S. District Judge Waverly Crenshaw of Nashville, Tennessee. Tennessee talks the tough talk, but they are infiltrated heavily. Memphis and Nashville both. I'd really say East Tennessee is the only place, the only bastion, kind of like where I live right now here. It's kind of funny I ended up there too, because that was kind of a more conservative place. Nonetheless, craziness going on. Tennessee, got to fight for your rights to party. Also, Texas, you too. You guys got all sorts of cancers growing in you. And Miami, good old Florida, Miami, you're yammy, Miami. It's yammied. It's been yammied up. You guys lost that too. Again, I don't think we have fair elections, fair votes. I think that's a huge part of it. I think they've been stealing things. Just saying. I guess I'll play this. It's more fun to tell the story, but yeah, Hunter Biden's crying about being in extreme debt and how they don't have any sort of generational wealth. Maybe because of all the coke and hookers and blow and prostitutes. Maybe you blew through your money, maybe?
Litigation sucks. I've been tied up in criminal and civil and in courts, and I got, I don't know, 14, 15 million dollars in debt that I have no idea that how I'm going to be able to pay off. I have millions of dollars in debt that nobody's riding to the rescue for Hunter Biden. My dad, entered the presidency as the poorest man to ever take the office, and he left the presidency not poorest. Which he's fine, but we have no generational wealth. I don't have any, despite what these guys say, there's no billions of dollars buried underneath my dad's house in Delaware.
Maybe not Delaware. It's funny. I was checking during the recording of that. I was like, yeah, no, zero moisture, zero, none, no tears. For any of you are there, like, what is he doing? No tears for Argentina, man. Major police and National Guard response about a half mile from the U.S. Capitol on I-695 amid reports of an officer down. I think we need. Well, it was a pretty crazy image. Look at all this. Officer down. I don't know if he's okay, but we've had some interesting situations. That's a shizzle ton of police cars, right? For one dude. And a tow truck. 2 turntables and a microphone. I don't know if he's on his own or if they're dragging it. He seems like he got hurt. Yeah, he doesn't look good. I don't know. That's horrible. Feel bad. Don't like that at all. Also, Delaware, there's a shooting there at a DMV of all places, which, jokingly, I'm sorry, you'd almost expect if anybody's ever been to a DMV. There's literally one that's kind of far away. Well, actually, they closed the close one, but there's one that's kind of far away. It was the place to go. In and out. It's crazy. So we had the gentleman died in the Delaware shooting at the DMV. And again, just the level of safety right now for people that are, in harm's way, like our law enforcement, certainly. And I would say people that are running around wearing your MAGA hats and stuff, which, again, I'm all supportive of. Just understand that you are adding levels of danger to your life. If you're in a place where you can get away with it, cool. If you're not, I don't know. It's up to you. I think there's a lot of ways that we can help waken people, but again, a lot of people got to do this their own way. Education department, they're going to start garnishing wages for the default student loan stuff. So this is going to start in January. We're going to hear a lot of crying about this too. And again, I feel for kids that made decisions that were probably not smart decisions, but because they've been told over and over. It's kind of like I almost feel bad a little bit for a lot of the illegal immigrant community because they've been told over and over that eventually we're going to make you legal. And so they're like, okay, cool. Now, that's silly. They've been lied to their whole life. And so have the students. And what? So we pay for that because they've been lied to and they fell into the trap? I don't know. I don't know the right way. I frankly don't want tax money going to that. Like, I think it's messed up. They can't bankrupt on it. I know it's tough. You got to have good credit, I think, to be able to refi one, which I think would be the smart thing to do, is refinance it, and then you can have some options, better structure, longer terms, whatever. Whatever the case is, it's happening. And I know there's people out there, my son did it. I get you. A lot of people this is going to affect. Again, this is going to hold, the changes that we're going through are going to affect every single one of us slightly differently. I had a funny little experience recently in my house that just like, this is one of those things right now. This is part of the change. So it's okay. Things happen. Just got to roll with it. Can't love everything all the time. Trump imposes new trade duties on cheap food containers from China. This is like paper plates and little containers for like, resealable and all that kind of crap. China and Vietnam have been, or China via Vietnam or both, have been dumping very, very, very cheap goods here for a long time. And just like probably your dollar store type places where you can go buy paper plates there for next to nothing. But a lot of the times these things have chemicals in them, certainly the forever chemicals, and lead and things like that. They're just not healthy. So what they're doing, instead of getting rid of them, which they probably should do, they're charging a really high tariff on them. They're talking about tariffs as high as 540% on certain Chinese producers and over 260% on Vietnamese producers when it comes to these paper plates and crap like that. So for all you guys that use a lot of paper plates, you better buy them soon because you will not be able to get them cheap anymore. They will cost whatever they cost. China's pissed off that the United States has banned foreign drones, basically from China specifically, or drones that are essentially made, manufactured, created by them or with their technology inside, because we've found in many cases they don't behave properly. They don't follow our geofencing rules and laws like they're supposed to. But China's pissed off. Whatever, China. Suck it. So gold and silver they were slightly down today. Now they're slightly up. Interesting. Let's see what silver chimes in at over here while it refreshes up. Stock market's a trip. Like there's news that's not necessarily good, yet this market's still going up. It's just none of it makes any sense. The stock market is an absolutely fictitious thing at this point in time. So silver's a little down, it looks like. Gold's up, looks like 90 cents. Woo! Again, it just means the dollar's pretty flat today. That's kind of good. Silver's down a little bit. We're still sitting at 70.98 right now for silver. It totally smashed through 70. Smashed. And seems to be hanging for the moment. I'm sure it's pissing off the deep state a bunch. They even tried to drop it, it looks like, today at some point. Some sort of thing happened that caused it to go way down. But, it rebounded. Again, guys, you want to get out of you want to get out all that nonsense. If you've got a 401k or an IRA, get out while you can. You're losing buying power with your dollar just in the stock market part. So it's the highest it's ever been, but you're losing because of inflation buying power. As the price of gold goes up, that means the value of the dollar is going down. If the price of gold's going up faster than the price of your stocks going up, that means the value of the dollar has gone down more than the value of your stocks have gone up. It means you've lost buying power. You didn't lose money, you lost buying power. Gold protects that. I've said this before. People probably hate it, but whatever. And it's just a good analogy. I could buy a fully tailored suit in 1913 with 1 ounce of gold, a gold coin. Today, I can buy a fully tailored suit with 1 ounce of gold, or a gold coin, the 1 ounce coin. Same buying power. I didn't make any money. I can't buy 2 suits today. I can buy 1 suit. It costs $4,500 now instead of $30. Silver's got a multiplier. That's the difference. Silver holds value, but there's a multiplier baked in. We're sitting at 71. There's the expectation that we're going to easily be 180, 200 by the end of next year. That's what it's looking like. Now, again, that's because there's manufacturing that uses it. There's shortages that are coming because there's not enough being mined right now. And as it goes up in price, mining will become a bigger priority. It makes more sense. But there's a lot that goes into this. We certainly have some in our own soil, but it exists all over the place. Get out while the getting's good. Get out before the value of the dollar continues to drop out. Like I said, as the price of gold goes up, that's a bad sign. It means you're waiting too long. Get out. Divest, anyways. You got some money that's sitting in there, protect it. What can you buy with that amount? $200,000, whatever, right? What can you buy with $200,000? Here versus where you're at might be totally different things. But what buying power is that? Lock it in. Know that you'll be able to have that. When we go to a new currency, it's going to be backed by precious metals. You're already there. Lock it in. Lock in the buying power. It's what it does. It's what it's always done. It's a horrible investment when times are good. When times suck, it's the safest, best investment. And silver, like I said, multipliers kicked in. We got a 3-time multiplier probably. I mean, I don't know for sure. But the advice that we've been getting so far has been leading us well. We broke 70 before the end of the year. I thought it actually would take a hair longer. That already happened. DRSlikesgold.com. DRSlikesgold.com. If you're in a 401k or an IRA, divest out. You're going to get up to 10% free silver. You're doing it tax-free, penalty-free. You're moving as much of that money as you possibly can sideways, tax-free, penalty-free. And if you're able to make a phone call within 20 minutes of putting in your data, well, you're going to get a free Ronald Reagan coin, collector's too, by the way. It's got him saluting on the front. It's very cool. It's a half ounce of 0.999% silver. So right now it's worth, almost $36 just on weight. On top of that, it's worth more because it's a cool Ronald Reagan coin. It's just for you to understand what you can do with your retirement and how you can protect it. DRSlikesgold.com. DRSlikesgold.com. Get out of that nonsense while you can. Believe me, they're going to try to take it from you. They don't want you to have it. Trump's trying. He's trying to make this bubble deflate slowly. We'll see. Again, he's going to do good. It's not going to be as bad as many say, but it's got to be bad enough to get rid of the Fed. Here's an interesting individual. I hope we understand him. I haven't actually listened to this, but he says we have in our body a gene called P53 that actually prevents cancer from occurring. Huh? Yeah.
We have in our body a gene called P53 that actually prevents cancer from occurring. Elephants have 8 P53s. That's why elephants don't get cancer.
Wow. Did not know that.
So you could be an elephant and you'd be fine. Guess what COVID does? It knocks down P53.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, no.
We're about to publish that. Dr. Carlos Cadone and I have done the work. It knocks down P53. And if you have any latency, and so therefore it's what I consider no different from HPV, which causes cancer with a latent period of, once you have HPV, 5, 10 years. Now we are seeing for the first time in America head and neck cancer from HPV exceeding that of cervical cancer.
Oh.
So I just tweeted about 4 or 5, now 6 patients with head and neck cancer in our clinic. And we're about to start now a randomized trial in head and neck cancer, where we're getting responses 6 out of 6.
So again, we're learning a lot of stuff. P53. Elephants have 8 P53. I'm assuming they're all different in some way, shape, or form. Because otherwise, But anyway, that's pretty cool. Coast Guard awaits Special Forces unit to execute the Venezuela-linked tanker seizure. Oh, that's a weird way to put it, though. To execute. Huh? Oh, with a seizure. Got you. It's a strong word. It's like if me and the GF aren't hanging out for a day, like I'm doing something with somebody or whatever, I got to do something, right? And she's like, it's elimination is what she calls it. Very strong word. It's like, wow, no, I'm just not going to see you tomorrow night. That's, eliminating me? No, I'm not. Man. Try to saw a comedy thing with guys one time. She doesn't drink, she doesn't do anything, so she's not going to have fun with us. U.S. Coast Guard forces, they remain in a holding pattern this week, awaiting the arrival of specialized teams to assist in the interdiction of this oil tanker, the Bella 1. Interesting name, by the way, Bella. Isn't that woman? Girl 1. Something Trump would like. I mean, it's true. Italy slaps Apple with a $116 million fine over double consent requirement on apps. They don't like the fact that I think, over restrictive policies that requires third-party app developers to obtain user consent for data collection and tracking when it comes to delivering targeted advertising. This is interesting. I don't know. I have zero love for Apple. You guys know that. I dislike the way they control their product. And some of the things they've been doing recently have made me wonder if they're being forced to move in a better direction or whatever. But getting consent for data collection, I think, is a great idea. And any app that wants to collect your data should have to get your consent. Especially on Apple. Just because Apple's already got your testicles in a vault or vice or whatever, doesn't mean every other company by default should get that. So I find it strange that Italy is suing them for this. I don't like Apple, and I like Italy. I think they've got a good... But I guess, I literally believe everyone in Europe is broke. So Italy especially, they're in a tough place, and they're also one of the larger economies over there. I want to say they're like 5th or 4th. They're decent. So yeah, they're all broke because of what the EU's done. This is only 116 million. I say only. Yeah, I think hang on, let me check my couch cushions. I might have something close to that. And change. Can you imagine rolling that much change? Good God. Oh, it'd be painful, right? You got $100,000 in pennies? Yeah, shit. That's 52 or 42, 43. Hey, Dan, what you doing? Fuck, it's not lost count. Oh, that'd be too much. Top Libyan general has been confirmed killed in a mysterious private jet crash departing Turkey. This is very suspicious. Well, this is suspicious. Everyone agrees it's suspicious. The Turkish airspace was shut down after this occurred. Haddad and the government he represented are bitter enemies of General Khalifa Haftar in eastern Libya, which is supported by Russia. They think maybe they might have had something to do with this crash. What's that general in Iran, eastern area? I forget. Wasn't it Libya that he was going to? It was somewhere over around there, and my geography's probably off a bit. But there was something strange going on over there. Yeah, needless to say, this footage shows the moment the private jet crashes in Ankara, which was carrying the Libyan military top brass. So a few people probably got smoked in this deal. This was a hit, for sure. Somebody was either A, being turned, or B, was so horrible, or had something else going on that plane or something, that smoking the plane and smoking these guys was a message. I mean, whatever the case is, this is a message to others. Not sure who was behind it. I don't trust anybody over there, frankly. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, I don't. But if I was in Libya, I'd trust 0 people. Oh, hi, I'm your guy. I'm supposed to help you. Okay. Do you have ID or something? Because it was a very specific name. I could spell it, but I don't know how to say it. Yeah, that's what all those letters are. I don't know, guys. We are we're heading into some crazy. Zelensky says he's open to free an economic zone in eastern Ukraine, but it must go to a vote. The guy that lost his country to another country, again, I'll be honest, he was used for sure by the West. He was a proxy. He was meant to just get crushed. All the Ukrainians could die, and we here in the United States and in Europe are like, yeah, keep the war going, fuck Russia. But meanwhile, Ukrainians were getting smoked by the thousands. It's not good. You guys lost land. It was a bad decision. I get it. And then now what? You're going to vote on the fact of whether or not you feel okay with the fact that you've lost land? What happens if you vote no? No, we don't feel it's okay to lose land. So what? You're going to keep fighting the war? You're going to force Russia to come in further? Or do you just concede at this point and be like, yeah, we lost that land. Bye, guys. Love you. Hopefully you come visit us soon. So I don't know where they go. And that was the point of the thumbnail. At which point, at which place, at what time do you finally just be like, okay, you're going to pop the joint. You're going to hurt. Like, right? When do you tap out? These dudes should have tapped out long ago. Long ago. And they could have saved face, money, lives, land, electricity generation. But not now. No. So many things have gone wrong there. We didn't react well to bullets. That's for sure. Shut up, Sean. Guy always wants to chime in. Former Senator Ben Sass confronts stage 4 cancer. He's a Christian faith. He's going to get through this. I don't know. Send prayers, you guys. Care and love. What's going on? Again, everything is interesting to me in the world right now. Pancreatic cancer. Ooh, I got Patrick Swayze. That's actually one of the songs that's going to make it to Friday. Hope you guys enjoy that. She's Like the Wind. It's a beautiful song. Beautiful song. Actually got a couple songs from that whole Dirty Dancing genre. It's got soft rock. It's going to be fun. It was inspired by St. Lucia, or Lucia, I'm not sure which. And then it's the other one, because Barry Manilow's got cancer. So doing a couple tunes from him, a couple tunes from St. Lucia, just because I wanted to play them. And there's two really bitchin' ass songs that if you haven't heard, I think you'll be like, wow, that's a cool song. And if you have heard them, then you're like, it's a cool song. I'd love to hear it again because it's that good a song. You hear it more than once. A lot happening. Oh, yeah, by the way, I forgot to bring this up. Greta Thunberg, she apparently was arrested in London supporting. They made the Palestine Action Group that she's a part of a terror group, so they arrested her. And they're trying to arrest Russell Brand. We talked about that yesterday. I don't know what's going on in England. I'm worried about my friends down under. I'm worried about my friends across the pond. And that's not the French. Let's just make sure that's okay. I wasn't talking about them. Everyone else. I'm worried about. Even Russia. We'll see if we make it through this guy. I mean, we will. I know we will. How it plays out, I think that's the part I'm most curious. I think it's going to affect each and every one of us in very specific ways. Like I said, I've very recently had one of my moments, and I'm like, okay, I think this is one of these. So it's coming. I usually get to experience stuff a hair earlier than others, and be ready, guys. Be ready. I don't know if we're talking like Christmas. I don't know. New Year's is where I'm feeling it more because that's more of a worldwide holiday than Christmas as much. But maybe they'll try to get some stuff on Christmas too. Just be on the lookout. Be careful. If you're going to places that are public, make sure you know how to get out of there quickly. Make sure you've got some extra stuff that you might not normally carry or have. Whatever's appropriate. And be ready, guys. Be ready. I love you all. Certainly, one thing. We're doing this together, and that's the big plan. And I hope you guys are on board. But I know where we go one, me, you, any of us, we go all. Everybody comes with. We're doing this together. We're making ripples. It's on the Fringe with Dan RadioStyle.